Hello boys and girls, my name is Brigadier Kahlil Fegan and I'm the Commander of the 3rd Brigade here in Townsville. And it is my great honour and pleasure to be able to talk to you today a little bit about Anzac Day. Now to most Australians, Anzac Day is a very special day of the year. For the Army, it's one of our most important days in our calendar. And the word Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, and is a day we remember and honour the brave men and women who have served and currently serve our nation during times of war and indeed during periods of peace. Today our soldiers are deployed overseas and also here in Australia, helping people deal with the coronavirus. Now, whilst Anzac Day will look different this year, I would absolutely love it if you and your families could take part in Anzac Day from home to pause and reflect on the service and sacrifice of our brave soldiers for well over 100 years. The Anzac's courage, endurance and mateship forged a spirit and legend that lives on in each of us today, and it is this that we will remember and honour on this important anniversary. It's what makes Australians so special and so able to deal with the challenges when needed. On Anzac Day, you can stand at dawn with your family, either in front of the television, in your courtyard, on your driveway, or even on your balcony. On the morning of the 25th of April, at 05:30 before the sun comes up, I'll be standing with Mrs. Fegan and our son Elijah on our balcony, listening to the Anzac Day dawn service on the radio. After this, we'll cook a lovely big breakfast together as a family, and then I will give a call to some of the soldiers with whom I have served on operations around the world. Anzac Day is a wonderful day for us to catch up with each other and check that we're all doing okay. I'll also remember some of the stories of great Anzacs in the past, and I always liked the story of Private Simpson and his donkey. John Simpson Kirkpatrick was a stretcher bearer in the First World War and was one of the soldiers who landed at Gallipoli on the 25th of April 1915. In the early hours of the day after the landings at Gallipoli, as Simpson was carrying wounded comrades on his shoulders, he spotted a donkey and quickly began making use of it to carry his fellow wounded soldiers. Simpson would sing and whistle, seemingly to ignore the bullets flying through the air, while he rescued wounded soldiers from the front line and carried them to safety back on the beach at Anzac Cove in Gallipoli. Simpson rescued over 300 soldiers over 24 days before he was very sadly killed by machine gun fire while carrying 2 wounded soldiers to safety. Now, although these actions occurred 105 years ago today, we remember Private Simpson and his donkey for his courage, his initiative, his respect, and his teamwork. Indeed, these are our Army's 4 values, and I know that you know how important our values are. I really appreciate the story of Simpson and his donkey because Private Simpson embodied our Army's values. He undoubtedly demonstrated courage by repeatedly going into harm's way to rescue soldiers who had been injured. He demonstrated initiative by using a donkey to help him carry medical supplies up the hills and wounded soldiers back down to the treatments on the beaches. He showed respect because he treated all people the same. He didn't care if a wounded soldier was a different colour or had different beliefs to him. They were just a person in need and deserving of respect. And lastly, he demonstrated teamwork because though he operated with just his donkey, he knew that he was part of a large medical team, and each part of that team relied upon each other to do their job well so that wounded soldiers could be treated most effectively. So on Anzac Day, I remember stories of our wonderful country's military's past. I reflect on those men and women who continue to serve our country today throughout the world. And I ask myself, how am I living at my Army's values of courage, initiative, respect and teamwork. And finally, I look at all young Australians who are still at school and marvel at how each and every one of you is a little Anzac. Have a great day.